Imagine if you have an idea for a historical story or event that you want to turn into a complete video. You need a script, visuals, music, narration, like the whole package. And you need it done quickly without the typical production bottlenecks. Well, but if I told you, you can do exactly that with Glyph agents. Today, we're diving into the Miniature History Agent, a powerful tool that takes your idea and creates a complete video production pipeline from start to finish. We're talking research, script writing, image generation, animation, music selection, voiceover, and subtitles, all handled by this one agent. So if you're ready, let's get right into it. Here we are on the Glyph site in the agent section. As you can see, there's a great selection of pre-made agents available. You're free to use whichever you want, but for today's demonstration, we're going to be using the Miniature History Agent. So let's select that one right here. And from here, we're gonna come to the top right where it says chat, and then click on that. And it's going to bring us to this page. So once we're in this page, we can even ask the agent for ideas. We can ask it for historical events that happen today, this month. You can ask it the history of how a company was created, anything historical. You can ask it for ideas, or you can just give it a specific idea that you want it to do. So let's go ahead and ask it for something that happened this month, a historical event that happened in the world this month. Let's see. By the way, when I'm speaking these instructions, I'm using a dictate app. It's not something native in the Glyph agent. So I'm gonna ask the agent, can you give me some big historical events that happened during this month? All right, so here's a list of things. Christopher Columbus makes landfall in the Americas. Marie Antoinette is guillotined during the French Revolution. Happened to happen today on October 16th when this is being recorded. So since that happened today, I'm gonna go ahead and do the story of Antoinette. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm gonna tell the agent, let's go ahead with the story of Marie Antoinette. Now it's doing a little bit of research and it's gonna look up probably some information on this story. It's giving 4 prompts. It's creating a voiceover script and video animation prompts. It's already setting this all up for you. And now it's asking me to approve, if I wanna approve this script. So if there's anything I wanna change in this, I can always tell the agent, you know what? I wanna change prompt 1. I wanna change prompt 4. I wanna change the script. I wanted to say something else. And these are things you can still alter and intervene if you wanted to focus on something very specific. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just approve this for now. So it's gonna generate images, it's gonna generate audio. As you can see, it's generating audio from 11 Labs. It's generating the images in miniature form. Here we have the audio clips, and let's listen in on one of them.
Marie Antoinette lived in unimaginable luxury at Versailles while France's people starved in poverty.
The voiceover sounds nice and smooth, sounds really good. So if we keep coming down, it's gonna ask us if we want to approve these things that we've done so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and approve the assets. So now it's using Seedance to generate the videos. So we use Seedance Lite because it's fast and it's also very cheap. So as you can see, it's using about 23 credits for each video that's generating. And then if we keep coming down here, it's now piecing together all these clips into one. It's gonna add the music, it's gonna add the voiceover, and then at the very end, it's gonna add the subtitles. So this is like perfect for social media posts. So right now it's mixing audio and video. So now we are finally done with our video. It was done pretty quickly within a few minutes and it added all the elements together. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I'm gonna make this big. This is my first time watching it with you guys. So let's go ahead and play this.
Marie Antoinette lived in unimaginable luxury at Versailles while France's people starved in poverty. The French Revolution erupted in 1789, turning the Queen into public enemy number 1. Imprisoned and put on trial, she faced charges of treason against the Revolutionary Republic. October 16th, 1793. The Austrian Queen met her fate at the guillotine.
Wow, that was really cool. I mean, I did not have to edit anything. I didn't have to touch any editing tool. It did it all for me. And yeah, the only thing I would change was probably the last scene because it just, to me, it seemed a little bit off, but overall, I was pretty happy with the results. All right, so I want to try that again, but this time I want to do something that's a little bit more personal, something that's a little bit based off my heritage. My parents are from Mexico. I was born in the US, but I did spend many years in Mexico studying as a kid. So I want to learn a little bit about the history of Jalisco, the state where my parents are from and where I was living for some time. So let's look up something that's related to that. So I'm gonna ask the agent this. Let's do something on the traditions and customs that were born in Jalisco and went on to become symbols of Mexican culture. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. We have historical focus on mariachi music, tequila production, charreria, rodeo traditions, originated in the 18th, 19th century, Jalisco, and evolved into global symbols of Mexican identity. All right, I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and approve this. So it generated some images and I really like these images. They look really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and generate these videos. Here again, we have the audio and video being mixed on these individual ones.
Village musicians in rural Kokala began blending guitars, violins, and trumpets, birthing the mariachi tradition that defines Mexico.
Nice. And here is the entire video together with the music. And I am curious about the music because I'm assuming it's gonna do mariachi music, but let's actually listen to it. I'm hoping it did. You know, I love that. I love that it just knows, okay, this is what we're talking about, because it's instructed this way. It's built this way so that it knows the topic. It knows, okay, let me try to make music that fits this specific historical event or area, country, whatever. And it tries to fit the music to that. And I love that. All right, so we have the full video right here. Let's check it out.
In 18th century Jalisco, farmers cultivated blue agave across rolling hills, unknowingly creating Mexico's future national treasure. Ancient distillation methods in stone haciendas transformed humble agave hearts into the spirit we know as tequila. Village musicians in rural Kokala began blending guitars, violins, and trumpets, birthing the mariachi tradition that defines Mexico. Ranch cowboys developed charreria horsemanship skills that evolved into Mexico's beloved national sport and cultural spectacle.
Very, very cool. I love that. I love that so much. There are things that I would have changed. Like, this is fine. There are two things that I had issues with. I had the issue with how he said Jalisco. He said Jalisco. I don't know, I guess maybe that's how you would say it in English because, you know, that's how it's read in English. But I would have preferred he said Jalisco, but I mean, I can't be nitpicking about that. But the other thing that I had an issue with was this guy over here is like, he doesn't know whether to be holding a trumpet or a violin. And I do wonder if that was an issue with the original image, because again, this is things I could have fixed. Yeah. So I missed this. I could have fixed this because I really like the image overall, but there is just this guy who has like a mixture of a violin and a trumpet. I mean, besides that, I think that it did a great job. So I can edit this image by clicking on this quotation mark so that the link of the image comes down here. And so the agent knows what image I'm talking about. Can you edit this image and make the mariachi member on the very right be holding a trumpet instead of a violin? So it's gonna be using Nano Banana to try to edit the image. So there it is. Since this agent has Nano Banana, I was able to change this image so that instead of having this hybrid of violin with trumpet, I could have a more clear looking trumpet that he is playing. So I could have done this and have had that issue fixed from the beginning. Now that I got that image fixed, I can just click on here on this little quotation symbol and it's gonna bring the image link down here. And I'm just gonna say, can we redo scene 3 and let this be the image for that? And it's what it's gonna do is gonna generate the video once again, and I'm just gonna ask it to piece it all together again. It's not gonna redo the music, the voiceover. It's gonna use the same voiceover, the same music, but this time it's just gonna include this new video. All right, so now it redid it, and now that part should look a lot better.
Village musicians in rural Kokala began blending guitars, violins, and trumpets, birthing the mariachi tradition that defines Mexico.
That's so good.
Ranch cowboys developed charreria horsemanship skills that evolved into Mexico's beloved national sport and cultural spectacle.
I love that. Yeah, there you go. So I would not have had to run that twice if I would have just been a little bit more aware of my first image generation. So you want to just make sure that before you approve of anything, that everything looks right. Okay, so you can avoid these mistakes like I did. This is just such a wonderful tool. I hope that you guys can find some amazing use from it. And we also have a lot of agents for you to play with, and we're just gonna keep making more agents, and the community is gonna build some really cool agents. So this is very, very exciting times. So hopefully you like this stuff. And that's how you create short historical videos with the Miniature History Agent. If you found this video helpful, we got more AI tutorials coming your way. For tips and news on the latest AI models, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, take care.